Hey, everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem, our live podcast. It's another Friday. Yes, it's Friday, and we've got an awesome podcast for you guys and gals out there this evening. But first, I just want to say if you want a good band to listen to, and then we're going to talk about Titanosaur here in just a few minutes. But as far as like heavy stuff like that, kind of mid heavy, Spirit Adrift did a cover of Pantera's Hollow. And I'm telling you right now, folks, you need to take a listen to this and listen to this band because I'm telling you right now, this hollow song, this hollow cover that they did is just tremendously badass. I mean, they did it really good. They put their own twist to it, and that's cool. I like to see that happening. Plus, today Nosferatu, the old silent movie, turns 100 years old. That is a great silent horror movie. If you're a horror fan, you'll definitely watch this because I've watched it before and I dig it. But anyway, on tonight's BODS, well, Lord God, I'm getting all tongue-tied already. On tonight's BODS Mayhem Hour Live podcast, we are going to be talking to Geoff of Titanosaur about their new album called Absence of Universe, which is released today, actually back in February the 4th, on the Swamp Records. Also, check out their other albums, and I hope I pronounced this right, Geoff, and you can tell me yay or nay. Inti Wanyu, is that correct or no?
Oh, everybody has trouble with that one. Inti Wanyu.
Yeah. Okay, Inti Wanyu. Yeah, there you go. So I screwed up already. So that's going to be a good podcast. Their other albums include Messages, 2, and Eat Me. So go pick those up right now. So Geoff, man, how you doing? Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, man. Nice to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you on here. So let's talk about this. Absence of Universe is the band's 5th album. Did you think you'd have this many albums when this all started with Titanosaur? Did you think it would just be a one-off, or not even a one-off, or maybe just an EP at the time?
No, I don't plan how long I'm going to be doing it for. It is a one-man band, so when I decided to do it, it was just to make the music. So however long I needed to go for, I'm happy that I've got enough material, and I've got more material coming. So yeah, it'll go as long as I can do it.
So how excited are you to release this album right now, man? Especially in the pandemic. I know things are opening up right now, but for you, you're a little nervous, or no? Just want to get it out there and be done with it.
Well, I've been making music just to release online since 2009. I don't play live, so for me, the pandemic didn't really change much of how I have to operate. But this particular album, I'm definitely excited about it. Absolutely. I try to get better every time I make an album with the production, the songwriting, everything. So I'm really excited about the way that the songs came together. I write a full album. I don't write just singles. So I'm really happy about how it came together and how all the songs sound together and the whole package, the artwork and everything. So really excited. And also everybody who's heard it and all the reviews are fantastic. So it's definitely exciting stuff for me.
So were these songs written prior to the pandemic, or are these all brand new songs written during the pandemic?
Probably during the pandemic. I put out Messages in 2020. And as we all know, 2020 is just a big black hole.
Sure.
But right after I released Messages, I was already writing for the EP Inti Wanyu, because I wanted to use that to get signed to a label. And so then the Swamp picked me up, and so then I started immediately writing all the songs for this album once that one was released. So yeah, pretty much the beginning of 2021 for the first like 5 months or 6 months, something like that, I was writing this album.
So how does it feel to be on a record label, the Swamp Records label, man? How does it feel when they actually reached out to you, or you reached out to them? How'd it happen, and how excited were you?
Well, I did the shopping thing, so I shopped it to a few different labels to see who would be interested. And the Swamp, they've got a lot of bands, but it's definitely a very family atmosphere with the other bands there. Everybody supports each other. Frog Lord is on the Swamp also, and he did a guitar solo for me on the EP on one of the songs there. But it's really open, and it's a very supportive place, community. So it's good for what I'm trying to do, and it's been working out.
So were there any tracks that didn't make these previous albums that landed on this album or no?
Well, the EP I was definitely looking for just like 4 or 5 songs. So, um, but yeah, I'm not sure. Um, well, before Titanosaur, which started in 2018, I started then. I was with I did the one man band thing, the Ray Gun Girls, which is more goth, more industrial type stuff.
Uh-huh.
So there's some songs that are left over from writing for those albums that I've polished up and finished for this album. Like "We're All Waiting" is one of those songs, and a couple of others that I've used.
So any tracks that didn't make this album that you're keeping in your back pocket for later for another full length, maybe?
Oh, there are definitely a lot of unfinished things. There's one song that's coming, sort of being released this week. Not really. I guess it's called a soft release. I don't know. But it's a benefit that I'm part of for the National Foundation for Transplants. It's happening this weekend, and if you make a donation, you get a link to download like 40 something plus songs, and this unreleased track is one of them. And it'll definitely be on something upcoming that I'm working on with another awesome band. I don't think we've decided if we're announcing it yet, so I can't really go into too much detail about that one. But yeah, no, there's definitely material there for me to cannibalize and pilfer from.
Folks, if you have any questions for myself or Geoff, please put them in the chat room. Also, go out and subscribe to BODS Mayhem Hour. I forgot to mention this before the podcast, as I normally always do. Get out and subscribe to the podcast link or subscribe to the YouTube link, and I would tremendously appreciate it. So there you go. Jordan's not with us tonight. He is under the weather, unfortunately, but he'll be back next Friday. So let me get all that in there before we continue. So that's my bad. Oh man, it never fails, never fails. And thanks to everybody who is out there listening and watching. I tremendously appreciate it. But again, if you have any questions for myself or for Geoff, please put them in the chat room. Any tracks standing out more to you than any right now on this album? I know these are your babies, and I know it must change every time you listen to it. But do you have any that stand out for you specifically?
Yeah, like you said, it's hard to pick. They're all my babies. I mentioned it before. "We're All Waiting" is one of my really favorites. It's sort of inspired by the Ministry cover of, I think, the band is Magazine, and I forgot "The Light Pours Out of Me," I think is the name of the song. But I really love that song, and I wanted to do something in the same style and the same feel of, and I think I really did that with "We're All Waiting." But and then there's the last song, "I Will Live Forever." I think no, that's the second last. Anyway, it's hard to keep track. But "I Will Live Forever" is another very personal song that I wrote right after being in the hospital last July. So yeah, those two are definitely up there. But yeah, they're all awesome.
Yeah, "Needed Order" is the last one. "I Will Live Forever" is the next one to the last one. I'll just run through the tracks right now. One's "Echo Chamber," "Conspiracies." Two, "So Happy We're All Waiting." "Miles to Go," "The Mountain," "Shut Off the Voices," "I Will Live Forever," and "Needed Order." So those are your track list for the new album from Titanosaur, "Absence of Universe." Let's continue here. Was there a track that you were working on that totally ended up sounding different than it was intended to? Was there a track, man, that changed so many times possibly that you finally got it?
Oh yeah, "Needed Order." "Needed Order" and "The Echo Chamber," I sort of wrote those around the same time. But the lyrics I couldn't get right. Had them just about switched around,
Hmm.
and it just wasn't sounding right. I knew there was something missing, so then I had to. Once I figured it out that actually the rhythms went better the other way around, then it all came together. So yeah, those two, I think, pretty much.
What's the growth musically you've seen from yourself working on this album, if anything, or either from album to album to album, man? What's your musical growth that you see from yourself?
I don't grow. I'm perfect. No, I mean, I've been trying to find my style because with the Ray Gun Girls, I was doing the Ray Gun Girls music for since 2004. So that was like 15 years or so before starting with Titanosaur. So I was trying to find my style. The first album has some silly stuff, some punk, some hard rock, some heavy stuff. And yeah, so every album I've been getting closer and closer. And on the EP, I feel like I really found my sound for Titanosaur, what I wanted. And so I use that coming into this album, Absence of Universe, and just working on the songwriting for the newer stuff. Trying to get a little more variety in some of the stuff. So.
Moving forward, though, is this the sound that you want to see Titanosaur to have? Just to stay a little heavy and not straight to like the funny stuff, as I call it. But I mean, everybody likes what they like, though.
Well, yeah, it's about like with the Ray Gun Girls. I really kept myself in a box, and that's what I had to break out of.
Mm-hmm.
So lyrically, I mean, that's what I'm leaving myself open to. Silly stuff. I've been thinking for a couple of years since I started Titanosaur about some lyrics about a fly killer kind of thing. So eventually that'll make it to a song. But yeah, no, being open as far as lyrics go, heavier lyrics, emotional or funny, silly, whichever one works. Definitely open to that.
What would you like to add to Titanosaur's music that no one would never think that you would add to a song or add to an album, possibly, man?
Some more live players.
Yeah,
because I play everything, I sing everything. This friend of mine, Doc, who did drums for the Ray Gun Girls when the Ray Gun Girls were live for a while, he's been trying to make it so that he can play drums with Titanosaur, but his work just keeps getting in the way. So unfortunately, that hasn't worked out. But I would love to be able to play with a live drummer. That changes the feel of everything. Right now, with me programming it, I mean, I like the way it sounds, but I know I would come up with bigger ideas if I had somebody else playing drums. But I would love to have some I don't know, native South American instrumentalists provide me with some music that I could build off of, kind of thing. So yeah, I'd love that too.
Who produced this album? Was this produced in-house or was it produced outside?
Everything done in-house. Production, mastering, artwork, everything. Yeah.
Would you want to work with a producer? Oh, Lord God, would you want to work with a producer at some point, possibly, if that's an option, besides you having to do just everything? 'Cause I know that has to get tiring, but still, I mean, you still want your hands on it.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I would love to have a producer. I mean, I'd most likely end up being a co-production thing. I have to have my hands on it. But yeah, I love the idea of having an outside ear that I can bounce things off of. I tend to do that anyway with my friend George, who used to play bass in the Ray Gun Girls and played with me in a few other bands. And he still helps me out when I've got some questions about how songs are working out or not. So yeah, I love having an outside ear. Absolutely.
So what's the reason behind just you doing it yourself? I mean, and instead of having like other members, is it just that you want to be the one doing all this, to get exact what you're wanting? Or let's talk about that just a little bit. Cause I know, like I said previously, just you doing it by yourself, man, eventually it's just going to be like, I need more people. It has to be.
Well, let's see. I've been doing it by myself since 2009 and I haven't gotten to that point yet. Nah, I mean, well, the main reason is that I don't play live. So I don't have a reason for there to be a band necessarily. Understandably, most musicians want to be able to play on stage, and I do too. I just can't because of my health.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, I would love to play with other people and have like an actual band together. Absolutely.
Yeah, I know how it is, man. Because I used to go to concerts all the time, and then just me standing and for hours upon hours after so long, it's just like, man, I'm tapping. you know, it's like I'm 42 and like I'm tapping. Yeah.
Well, I started doing it on my own in 2009 because I had my third heart surgery. So that was
Jeez.
after that it was I can't play live anymore. And in the past year, things have been kind of going downhill with my heart, so it's even worse. Like I'm just talking to you, I keep running out of breath. So, and I put on a really intense live show. So I can't just stand up there and not
Oh,
move.
wow, dude. I didn't know that, and I'm sorry. That's horrible, but you're doing what you're doing still. I mean, that you're still doing it and you love it. That's the cool part about it. But yeah, you will have to take it really easy because COVID's still around, folks. It's not. You've got to really be careful with it. So, man,
Well,
that's
yeah,
crazy. Mm.
yeah. There's the COVID thing. So yeah, I'm gonna be wearing a mask for a long time just in
Mm.
case.
Oh yeah, for sure. But if you was at one point, Geoff, at some point, miraculously, that you get to go back on stage with all these albums that you've got out plus the EP, would you find it hard to put together a set list or no?
Well, I did a sort of live in quotes live stream for the release of this album.
Mhm.
I filmed myself playing each instrument and then put it together.
Right.
So yeah, no, and I'm working on the same kind of idea for an April performance. I I definitely have an idea of what songs I would want to play. I mean, it would be at least an hour of the stuff. I mean, like the title track of the 2020 album, "Messages." That song I would love to play on a stage and see everybody go crazy on that one,
So you
as
want
well as Echo Chamber, which is it's a great sounds like it'd be a great live song.
so you want to do the whole album messages? Is that right?
Well, the title track, "Messages,"
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah.
I was gonna
Um,
say still though, that'd be awesome to to do a full album like that though.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's some songs on the new album, like really heavy songs like "The Mountain." That would be awesome to play live. So.
Yeah. What do you hope everyone takes away while listening to these new singles or album or any Titanosaur music in general, man? What do you hope they get from it, if anything?
Uh, to have fun with it. I'm hoping that they're having fun. I mean, that's what it seems like from reading the comments and the reviews that everybody's having fun with it. It's definitely driving music. You put it on in your car and you drive real fast and get a speeding ticket kind of thing. Um,
Yeah.
it's that kind of music, and I hope that that's what people use it for. Just don't send me the ticket because I ain't paying for
Yeah, me either. We're yeah. No, not me either. Don't put this on me, Geoff, Ricky Bobby. Don't you do that to me. How much of a relief is this to still be able to at least put music out without having to tour? How much is this a relief for you and maybe therapy possibly, dude?
Absolutely, it's definitely therapy for me. Uh, I love being able to release the music. There's something about validation about having people hear the music. I just want as many people who as possible to hear the music, and that's why I think one of the albums I have up there is just "Pay What You Want" kind of thing and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Obviously, I need something to pay for shipping and stuff like that for CDs and electricity and all that, but no, the point is to try to get as many people to hear it as possible, and it's yeah, validation, I guess. All us artists just wanna be validated. We just wanna be loved.
We just want to be loved, everybody.
That's all.
Love.
Just looking for
Uh,
outside love.
looking for love in all the wrong place. No, okay, stop. Don't get not that road. Come on now. Come on. I'm just going to drop this right here. I've been thinking about this since Geoff mentioned this about, sending music out and everybody listening to it. I am seriously thinking about going back to online radio and doing it through Live 365. So that's still on my plate. I'm still trying to play with that and see what happens. But it's so weird with that platform because it's just like a radio station. I don't know if I'm going to be able to play what I want and plus how I want to do it, and incorporate the interviews and things like that with it. So I don't know, but eventually I will be able to do this again to get back on online radio because I miss it a lot. Because there's a lot of these bands just like Geoff who are out there doing this independently. Even though they do have a record label, they still have to do a lot of this independently. And they need help just as well as anybody else. I mean, just like me as a podcaster, I need help with subscribers and stuff. I just hope some person listens to the podcast and likes it, and the people I have on here, they go listen to their music and help them out because I'm not in this for myself, folks. I'm in this for everybody. So, and you won't hear many podcasters say that.
I used to DJ online, and before that, I DJed in college. I love DJing. The idea of it, it's just it gets to be a grind after week after week after week kind
Oh
of
my,
thing.
you are so right, man. And that's the thing about it, Geoff. You hit the nail on the head right there. Everybody's like, that's so cool. You get to do these interviews. Well, yes, but when you actually have to balance work and take care of your elderly mother, and you have to go back and, I've got my podcast on Fridays, which is live, which I absolutely love. I adore it because I get to see everybody face to face, talk to them face to face, just like I do with my regular interviews. But when you go back and you have to edit video interviews plus audio interviews for one day specifically to upload to YouTube, to your YouTube channel and things like that. Oh my God. And scheduling interviews, it's a balance of wow. If I would
Right.
show somebody my schedule, what I have to do, and probably you too, they'd probably be like, how do you do this?
Yeah, yeah. I was on Fridays at like what was it, 10 o'clock? I think 10 o'clock at night, and so you got a whole day of working, taking care of the kids, cooking,
Yep.
all that stuff, and then
Yep.
line up the songs you want to play, and then put them on, promote,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
You got to talk about all the stuff that's going on in the music world that you cover. At least
Mhm.
try to is the key word. Try. And Geoff knows exactly what I'm talking about because you've got so much stuff. Like I would do it for an hour, and try to cram all that in with an interview, information, music. And by the time you're done, you may have 4 songs that you played.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh God, really? There's all these requests that you're getting. You're like, I'm
Yep.
sorry. No, that's on the back burner. It's it's tough, man. Uh, what was it for you though, being a DJ that you liked? Was it just, you know, I guess expressing yourself with the songs that you wanted, or did you want to watch everybody else express themselves when you actually played it live or whatever anywhere?
Oh, I love exposing people to the music because I to the music that I know because I have a very deep uh, I don't know what the word is, but I got a lot of shelves of CDs, is what I'm saying.
Got a huge library of music, my friend.
Yes.
There you go.
And I'm constantly listening to other bands and listening to music, so I'd like to expose people to all the music that's out there. So that's what DJing was for me or is for me if I ever do it again.
So that's why I love doing this podcast because I bring in bands on this podcast specifically that people may not have heard of. You know, I met you on Instagram,
Yep.
so there you go. And my buddy who does my photos, he's like, and I forgot to tell him who was going to have on my podcast this Friday, which is tonight. Which this was me, and it was no making fun of you or anything like that. He's like, "Why did you send me a guy with a dinosaur head? What's going on?" I was like, "Oh, my bad. I forgot to tell you that's my guest for this Friday." He's like, "Oh, okay." Oh, it's good stuff though, folks. And I'll show you right here. Hang on one second. We'll get back to the interview here, but it's just good to bring on different people that
Oh yeah.
maybe somebody might not have heard of. Here we go. I don't know if everybody could see that or not. Maybe not. I maybe have to upload it to. I'll do that right now. So you got another album that's going to be released in April. Is that the split, or is that going to be actually something along the lines of Titanosaur?
I don't know about anything in April,
Okay,
but
never mind.
this weekend is a song is for this benefit for the National Foundation for Transplants, an unreleased song, and then I've got I'm working on another song, a cover for a tribute album that for a Spanish band's tribute album. I mean, it's I don't know if I can say who we're doing a tribute for, but it's just Spanish bands, Spanish speaking heavy metal bands.
Okay.
And then yeah, like for October, I'm working on something else with another band. And then somewhere in all of that, I'm also working on music for a new album. So yeah.
See, you never stop, man. Oh, it's good. All right, here is what the photo looked like. That was it.
Yes, sir.
That is it right there, folks. And then my buddy's like, Josh was like, you sent me a guy and another guy with a dinosaur head. I was like, oh yeah, my bad. So when somebody sees, I'm gonna ask you this. There it is. So when somebody, and I think this is hilarious because photos and cover photos can be misleading for bands, and when they hear their music, like, wow, whoa, this is something unexpected. Do you ever get that question, like, man, this looks so different than the album, or the album cover? Then you listen to the band, it's like, where did this come from? You know what I mean?
Well, I'm hoping not, because I'm hoping it's a whole package. I mean, the idea of picking the name of Titanosaur was that I want to make something that's loud and crunching and stomping, and that's why Titanosaur. So reviewers are picking up on the connection between the two. I'm hoping that the music's also making that crunching, stomping kind of feel. So I'm hoping that's not the case, that people aren't getting it, but who knows?
Hey, I always ask the questions, man. So
Yeah.
I always ask it. Do you still, and I know you have a lot of music because you said you had a lot of music over there that you listen to yourself personally, but do you still have a go-to album, Geoff, that you just can't, find yourself kicking it out of your repertoire of music, man? You've got to listen to at least once or twice a week, or maybe just a few months down the road. You're always going back to that certain album or song, maybe.
Oh, definitely. Typo Negative's October Rust. Every fall, have to listen to that album.
Great.
That whole album is just perfect New York fall weather soundtrack. And then just Killing Joke. A lot of the Killing Joke albums.
Yeah.
They're one of my hugest influences. So yeah, those are my main go-to things.
October Rust with Cinnamon Girl. Man, I tell you, Typo Negative for me is a band that just snuck up on me, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I love Typo Negative. Their covers to me are some of the best covers out there because they put their own twist on them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your standard, oh well, that sounds exactly like the original, so why cover it? And I've said this many times. I even told Johnny this. I've told Sal this. I've told them all this, except for Peter, which I wish he was still here because Typo would still be putting some stuff out. When you hear Summer Breeze compared to the original, when they put their twist on it, man, was just like, damn good. I mean, it's like, it's perfect the way it is.
Oh yeah. No, I didn't realize that I had heard Summer Breeze before when I heard their version of it. And then I heard them next to each other and I was like, wow, this is great stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like I told Johnny, I was like, nobody should ever cover that song again. That's done. Leave it be. You guys done it. Knocked out of the ballpark. But that's a band, man, that like I said, I wish Pete had not passed away because I don't, and I don't mean this in a wrong way, and people's gonna think I'm stupid when I say this, but I don't think they felt their groove. You know what I mean? As far as like their stride for music, I think that they still had a lot left in the tank. Musically,
maybe. They were an odd bunch.
That's true.
Odd
That's
bunch of guys.
true.
So
that's true.
Who knows? I'm bad with names, but the keyboard player. I mean, who knows how long he would have stayed for if they had kept going.
That's true.
He's kind of he's got his own way of looking at the world.
Add and subtract, Geoff. Add and subtract members.
Well, yeah. Funny story about Typo Negative. So Typo Negative is a Brooklyn band, and
Hmm.
I'm from Queens, New York. And one of my close friends, he was asked to be their drummer because he's an amazing, he was an amazing drummer. But he said, I remember the conversation. He said, they told me I had to have really long black hair, and that's just not. I can't do that.
That's kind of like
So
their MO: black hair and long black hair and green, neon green.
yeah, and he would have been bored in there because I don't know if he's ever been officially diagnosed, but he was definitely ADHD. I mean, I think most drummers are, but he couldn't have kept those slow, doomy beats for as long as they have to for those songs. I mean, you
Do
got
you,
10-minute long songs on like 50 BPMs. It's insane.
do you find it difficult though, man, that bands are asking you to come out on some, tour dates or whatever to open for shows? Do you find it difficult to actually say no and you want to do it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. With the Reagan Girls, it was really tough too. That happened a lot because it's been around for longer.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, in the past 2 years, I've really been delving into the stoner metal community and becoming part of that genre. And found so many bands that I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. If this was only like 10 years ago. So yeah, yeah. I mean, I would like Gorilla Wizard. They're from New York. Be great to be on a bill with them. And yeah, Demon Scar. They're more punk rock. Um, that would be awesome. They're from Long Island. There's just so many bands that I found that are like, oh man. But
Yeah.
it's one of those things that's very frustrating.
Geoff sent me a lot of bands to hook up with, so you're going to probably see them all on BODS Mayhem out here soon. So I tremendously appreciate that, and that's what I want to do, because branching this out and bringing all these bands on here, man, is just what I want to do. This is exactly what I want to do. Um, what inspired you to start playing and making music? Man, what was that spark for you that said, I at least want to attempt this and see how far it goes?
I don't think I have a choice. Um, I mean, I know what sparked the idea of playing guitar was when I grew up in um let's see how far back to go with this. Um,
Back in 1954.
you know, uh, so my mother was a single mother, grew up in the same house as my grandmother, along with my uncles. My mother was only 18 when she had me. So my uncles are like only 14, 15 years older than me. Um, and so they were in the house and they had their record collection in Queens, New York in the 70s, 80s. So they had tons of different types of records. Everything from Sex Pistols and Ramones to Black Sabbath, Uriah Heep, Queen, Talking Heads, everything across the board. So I would go in there and listen to the records, 4, 5, and 6 on my little dinky record player that I had. And they would get pissed off because, I'm scratching up their records as far as they know. But that's where I heard Queen and Brighton Rock. And that was the first time I heard, because my grandmother also had a stereo. So sometimes I'd play it on her stereo.
Mhm.
And that's the first time I heard the stereo effect that Brian May did with the guitar in the break of Brighton Rock. Left, right, and I was like, that is awesome. And it was a rhythm, and I could feel it, and I was so that was the first time I was interested in the thought of playing guitar. And then I throw it right after that. I throw on the Sex Pistols or the Ramones. I'm like, I could do that. So yeah, I don't think I cannot do music. So I don't know where that started.
That's kind of like a big whirlwind there of music. You've got Queen, and you go to Sex Pistols. I mean, it's like, whoa, night and day, totally, totally. But Queen
Well,
is such a great, great band. You know, oh my God, some of their music that's not even been put out, that should have been put out, is tremendously awesome.
yeah, for me, both Queen and Killing Joke, both make tons of different types of music inside of their band, and they and it's very like very Queen. You know it's Queen, and you know it's Killing Joke, no matter if the Killing Joke is playing EDM or heavy metal. It's a sound, and the same with Queen, whether it's country or rock or heavy metal. They did it all, and it was fantastic.
Now, you said that you're working on new music already. How much do you have written so far? Do you have any tracks laid down, or are you just starting to write on it?
No, I'm just starting because I'm paying more attention to trying to still promote Absence of Universe.
Right,
But
right.
this one track that is on this benefit thing, it's actually a demo, but it's definitely close to being done. So you can definitely hear what it's going to sound like if you get it with a donation.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, that one's just about done. And I've got a couple of other ideas that I've started with, some heavier, more Black Sabbathy stuff. So yeah, I mean, I've got little bits of things going here and there.
So the single that's going to be coming out for the benefit, is this going to be for the benefit only, or is this going to be on the upcoming album, possibly down the road?
Well, it's going to be probably yeah. Well, it's definitely going to be on an album down the road. I just not sure if it's going to be on something else I'm working on before a full length. I don't know, but yeah, it'll be coming out later this year.
Geoff, how can folks stay in touch with you? Get out and buy Titanosaur's albums, this new album, Absence of Universe, everything Titanosaur. How can they do that, my friend?
Titanosaur rocks. That's my tag on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Titanosaur rocks. Just look for that, and you'll find my account. Bandcamp Titanosaur 1, because apparently somebody else already had Titanosaur. Go figure. I don't know. I can't find them on Bandcamp, but I can't use Titanosaur on Bandcamp. So titanosaur1.bandcamp.com. And yeah, I'm on most streaming services also. So just look for Titanosaur.
I want to thank you for being on tonight's podcast, man. I truly appreciate it, and you have total support from me, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck. Anytime that you want to come back on here, you are free to do so, my friend. Just let me know, and we'll get it squared away. And hopefully, I'll be back on, like I said, doing some live music and playing some live music and stuff on here eventually. But that hopefully that'll come down the road. But that is something I am working on for everybody.
Cool. Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. It's been a pleasure chit-chatting.
Yeah, she chatted. All right, Geoff, you have a good evening, man. And like I said, yeah, if you want back on here anytime, just let me know.
All right. Thanks, man.
See you, dude.
See.
Everybody, we're going to continue with the podcast. There's some things I'm going to be talking about on here. I want to thank my guest tonight, Geoff from Titanosaur. Please get out and check out their new album, Absence of Universe. And please check this band out and pick up their album, because, like I said, this is everybody's trying here. Everybody is trying, that's for sure. So let's dive into some, I guess, music news. Today, we're going to talk about album releases for today, for March 4th, 2022. And forgive me if I miss out on anybody. I apologize. 10 Years have released Deconstructed. Crowbar released Zero and Below. The Dead South, if nobody's listened to Dead South, please check them out. Easy Listening for Jerks Part 1 and 2, I think, is released today. Sabaton, The War to End All Wars, is out. Ty Tabor, who is going to be on an episode of BODS Mayhem Hour, his new album, Shades, is out today. And if you don't know who Ty Tabor is, he is guitarist of the Mighty Kings X. So he is going to be on the podcast. Vane, they call him Vane.fm, also just Vane. This World is Going to Ruin You is out. And Violence, Let the World Burn, their album is out today. So you want to check that out. Also, the Dead Daisies release Bustle and Flow live from Daisyland. Sorry, say Disneyland, Lord God. Live from Daisyland. That has been released today. So get out and check those out. Here's some other information that I'm going to tell you guys, and then I'm going to be out of here. And this is some news that's going on right now. Ginger starts donation campaign for Ukraine and cancels North American tour dates. However, they are keeping Latin America tour dates and European festival dates open for 2022. So they're just not doing any North American tour dates, and I don't know. I guess their visas. I guess I do not know why. I don't have any information on that. Just know that that's what's going on, and it sucks that we're in this right now. But hopefully soon I'll get back to normal again. Ex-Morbid Angel drummer Pete Sandoval will rejoin Pete Sandoval will rejoin his former bandmate David Vincent on the upcoming tour from I Am Morbid. So I Am Morbid, which features Vincent vocals, bass, alongside guitarist Bill Hudson. That's part of Northtail and Doro and Kelly McLaughlin. Will celebrate the 30th anniversary of Morbid Angel's second album, Blessed Are the Sick, with a European tour in March and April. Support on the track will come from Belfiger. I cannot say this. Belfiger and Hate. If Jordan was on here, he could probably pronounce all these crazy things like this. I don't know. Also, if anybody didn't see this earlier in the week, that Testament has got Dave Lombardo back on the drums. And that's a pretty cool thing. He's an original member of thrash metal legends Slayer. Lombardo was the guest drummer on Testament's 1999 studio album The Gathering, which also marked the first time the band worked with then up-and-coming British producer engineer Andy Sneap. So Dave Lombardo back in Testament. We're going to talk about the Life Project. If you know Josh Rand from Stone Sour, this is his new band called The Life Project, a musical meeting of the minds between Grammy-nominated Stone Sour guitarist Josh Rand and Paralandra vocalist and guitarist Cassandra Carson. Will release a new 4-song EP titled Big Four on March 18th via Blood Blast, and the collection features a clutch of cover versions. So one each from heavy music's pioneering and icons Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, and Anthrax. The duo's take on Anthrax's Caught in the Mosh is revealed today to coincide with the EP's pre-order. In addition to the singles, sleeve artwork was designed by none other than Mr. Charlie Benante of Anthrax. So Josh Rand and Cassandra Carson, they are putting out a Big Four EP. It's a cover. So you got Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, and Anthrax, which we already know Anthrax's cover Caught in the Mosh is on it. So I don't know. Well, I like to hear this. I like to see what they've come up with. I also thought I saw one that they were doing by Metallica, but I could be wrong on that. But I thought that's what I saw. So that's going to be cool. That's going to be cool to see what's coming up. This is actually pretty nice too. According to Times and Star, a special plaque has been placed in Workington, England, to mark the day that Black Sabbath was born. The plaque, which was placed on the walls of the Carnegie Theater, marks the historic day in 1969 when singer Ozzy Osbourne announced during a concert by his band then Earth at the Backlands Youth Club, Workington, that he and his bandmates would be changing their name to Black Sabbath. So that is awesome. And money for the plaque was raised by 56-year-old Des Rumney, who told Times and Star, and I quote, "We done it 2 years ago over Christmas in Backlands to mark 50 years that Sabbath played Backlands." So that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. It's, Black Sabbath has a plaque at Carnegie Theater to mark the day that they played there. I guess the birth of the band, I guess. And this is another cool thing I saw today too, where A Perfect Circle's Billy Howardale releases Poison Flowers, a solo single. That's out too. You want to check that out. And plus, I know a lot of people don't dig the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but I do. They have released their new single, Poster Child. The song is taken from the band's upcoming album, Unlimited Love. So they're going to be doing a new album. I'm kind of anxious to see where this goes because they got John Frusciante back on guitar. So we'll see. And some local news here. The Technicolor Nightmare are working on their upcoming album. This album is the follow up to their self-titled album released in 2021. So that's going to be a cool album when that comes out. So, and I know I blabbed enough on here tonight, so I apologize. I want to thank each and every person who came in here this evening to check out BODS Mayhem Hour and check out Titanosaur and the interview. And I tremendously appreciate each and single one of you people, tremendously, honestly. Like I said, I don't do this for myself. I do it for you guys and gals out there. That's for sure. Next Friday, March 11th. We're already in March, folks. And next Friday is already going to be March 11th. Man, time already flies by. But next Friday, we're going to have Jerry Smith. Jerry Smith is a horror movie reviewer. He's also a journalist for horror review stuff. And now he's got his own music that he's putting out for horror related. And Jerry's hooked me up with some killer interviews. So we're going to have him on the podcast next Friday to talk about all that good stuff. And, man, if anybody has any other bands that they would like to have on BODS Mayhem Hour, or they would like for me to try to get on BODS Mayhem Hour, please, you can send me a message on Facebook. You can send it on YouTube, whatever, just Instagram. Send it to me, and I will do my best to get those folks on here and see what we can work out. So I'm still booking, and we're going to get this done, folks. Trust me. Hopefully soon I'll be back to online radio again and playing some good music while we do all this stuff. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to BODS Mayhem Hour Live podcast. Enjoy your weekend. Please enjoy your weekend. Let's do some great music. And if you have any new stuff out there for me to review or talk about, please let me know and I will do so. I will see you next Friday, and I will see you this Tuesday on Beyond the Paranormal podcast as well. So lots of stuff coming down the pipe for BODS Mayhem Hour. Trust me, there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. Thank you all so much. I truly appreciate all the support, and please go subscribe to the BODS Mayhem Hour YouTube page. I would tremendously appreciate it. Thank you all so much. Have a good evening and have a good weekend. Stay safe and just be careful, folks. See ya.